Some women get stuck because they don't have a clear vision of what they want to look like and how they want to feel. Today, I'm going to give you some practical tips on how you can overcome that obstacle so that you can look and feel your best. I'm Chelsea Pagnini, and on this channel, I teach women how to look and feel your hottest and healthiest self inside and outside. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. This verse was on my heart this morning, and it pairs well with what I want to talk about and share with you all today. Anytime I have set out to achieve a goal, whether it be in my business or in my marriage or as a mother or in my friendships, and especially in my health, there has always been some kind of vision that I have had. And I feel like a lot of women get stuck in their health goals or get stuck with losing the weight because they don't have that clear vision of how they want to feel, what they want to be wearing, what they're going to be wearing when they lose that weight. And so I think it is so important for women that are struggling to get past that obstacle of really feeling and looking their best, healthiest, fittest self to understand that if you don't have a vision, if you don't have clarity of the person you want to become, that is what can hold you back. And I'm going to give you an example. So back in 2017, when I was ready to lose my weight, I lost 25 pounds in about 3.5 months. I had a clear vision of the person that I wanted to look like. And that clear vision was actually former Chelsea. So about 8 years prior to 2017 is when I had my first daughter, who is now 16 years old. But she was my first baby, and I had gained I stopped weighing myself after 60 pounds. I had a C-section, and the day of her birth, I was just huge. I had a bunch of water weight, and I just didn't even feel or look like myself. So about a year and 4 months after I had her, so when she was about a year old, I had lost all my baby weight. And it was just honestly a lot of the weight coming off was from nursing. It just fell off so quickly. And then I was walking a ton. I was drinking a ton of water because I was always thirsty. And I was even doing planks at home, the workouts that I could do with the baby. And I even wore one of those wraps that you wear after post-pregnancy. And I believe that's what really helped kind of fuse together my muscles, because when you have a C-section, they cut through the muscle. And so the weight literally started to fall off. And I remember even her pediatrician would ask me, like, are you eating? And I'm like, yes, I'm eating. This weight is just coming off. So I think a little bit had to do with me being in my 20s. But the other part was that I was walking a ton. I was drinking a lot of water. And then as the weight started to come off, I started to get motivated because my body was changing. And so I started to eat better and started to eat healthier. So that summer, so she was about a year and 4 months. That was the summer that we went to Vegas with some friends, me, my husband, and a couple other friends. And I got to wear a 2-piece, and I felt my best. And I'm sharing this story with you guys because my husband took a picture of me at, I think it was Wet Republic, some pool party in Vegas. And I just remember looking back at the photos, not only the photos, but I remember the feeling. I remember walking around the pool and thinking like, I'm just so proud of myself. And this may sound like vain or prideful or whatever you may think it may sound, but I have never, ever felt that way. It was the first time I think ever that I was so proud of my body, that I felt like confident wearing a 2-piece. Even being smaller, I mean, I was always around 120, 125, or maybe I got a little bit lower than that in my teens, but I just never felt so good. I never had that flat stomach, and I truly did. And so I remember that so vividly, just that feeling. And when fast forward to 2017, I had another child, I gained weight, and with 2 kids, it's hard. You're tired, you eat whatever leftovers you can, you eat the goldfish, the PBJs, you are, just catering towards these 2 toddlers, these 2 kids, and you start to forget about yourself. And also my husband was traveling a ton. He would leave like week or 2 weeks on end. So a lot of it was up to me to go to the grocery store, to take care of the kids. And it was a lot. I had like a million mental breakdowns. So I gained my weight. So when 2017 came around and I stepped on the scale for the first time, in a long time, I remember we got life insurance and the nurse came over and had me step on the scale and I was 146, which was a lot for me. I've always weighed about 120, 125. And that was an indicator of like, okay, you got to change. There is something clearly wrong. That was just like one sign. I mean, all the other signs were I was bloated, I had inflammation in my face, I wasn't sleeping well, I was drinking 4 to 5, 6 cups of coffee a day, stomach problems. I mean, the list goes on. So clearly I wasn't healthy and none of my clothes fit. So seeing that number really was like that visual representation of me not being healthy clearly, because I'm 5'5", I've always been 120, was what motivated me to get healthy. And so what I did is had to create a vision, and I had to be so clear of what I wanted to look like, who I wanted to look like. And that picture was the Chelsea that felt so confident at the pool. That picture and that feeling of how great and amazing I looked and I felt was so clear and vivid in my head at that time, at the beginning on day 1 of my journey, that I held close to that picture. I even saved it on my phone as a screensaver, which people probably saw and thought I was crazy. But that motivated me because I'm like, okay, yes, I'm older, but I knew that I can get back to where I was, because that was my body. Things do change, but I believe that a lot of women listen to the lie that, oh, we're older, we're moms now, we've had kids, our bodies changes. And so what you start to tell yourself, you start to become. And so I literally had this picture saved on my phone. I was so tunnel vision on the fact that I don't care how long it takes, but I will do whatever it takes. And that would be my encouragement to someone out there, that if you have a vision, and I'm talking about you guys getting super, super crystal clear on what are you going to be wearing when you lose that 20 pounds? What will you be doing that you don't do now? And, think of the things that you don't want to do. And it affects so many areas in our lives, including our relationship with our spouse. How many times have us women not wanted to go out to dinner or go to a party with other friends because we had nothing to wear, because we didn't feel good, we felt fat? How many of us have said that over and over and over again? So it definitely affects all areas, not just yourself, when you are feeling unhealthy. And so having that vision of the person you want to become and finding a place that you can see it every day. So whether it's on, your desktop, you have it as your screensaver. Who cares what people think? Motivation comes and goes. We're not always motivated. And what really will get you to your goal is discipline, doing it whether you feel like it or not. And I know that sentence and that line is probably overused, but because it's so true. And the motivation that drives us is the thing that will actually motivate us. So whatever it is, that will help you stay the course and motivate you on the days you don't feel motivated. Because every day that you work on that goal of becoming that person that you envision yourself, one day you're going to realize, like, I'm here. Like all those habits you're doing, eating healthy, getting your steps in, getting your water in, reminding yourself of, I remember that girl I once was, I want to get back to that. And I also want to encourage you, if you were never at your goal weight, if you've been someone who has struggled with your weight your entire life, which I have dealt and met so many women like that, find someone that resembles you. Maybe find someone that has the same ethnicity or maybe, similar body shapes, and look at them. If they're in great shape and someone you aspire to be, use them as your motivation. It's totally okay to do that. I've never looked at someone in envy. I wouldn't say never, but usually when I see someone super fit, super beautiful, I'm like, what are they doing to take care of their skin? Or what are they doing to eat healthy? What are their workouts? It inspires me because I'm like, if they can do it, so can I. There is nothing stopping you of becoming that person that you've always dreamed to be. You just have to believe it for yourself. And what you need to do is, like that verse said, is you have to create that vision. You have to be so clear on that person, hold it in the back of your head, in your heart, on your desktop, on your phone, and work on becoming that girl every single day. I believe in you. I love you. And I mean it.